Good evening and welcome to the Nilvah Nexus weekly biblical discussion, chat, and study. jamestheidolsmasher at gmail.com. My co-host Rosalie Jordan. Good evening, madam. How are you?
Good evening, Sir James. I'm fine.
I think I got the red tide. I might not
Well,
be
as long
reading
as-
it. Huh?
Go ahead.
I was saying, looks like I've got the red tide, or I got something. Family went down for a little vacation down to Oklahoma City and went to Frontier City and the Science Museum and came back sick. So I was doing quite well until I set the computer up here, got ready to broadcast, and then I got a sneezing, coughing, you name it, just kind of attacked, like it was an allergy attack or something. So I'm going to do my best to hang in there. Rosalie is quite capable of reading. I've been told that's true, Rosalie. Yeah. So she
Yes,
might read more than I do if I can't keep up. But we're reading the Book of Esther.
Esther
today.
or Ezra? You have Ezra
What'd I
put up
say?
here. Esther.
Wrong one. Okay. Now,
Hey, as long as you got taste and smell, you're good.
I do.
There you
Still
go.
got energy.
Hey, taste and smell is what's important.
Yes. So, yeah, it's been a lot of fun. My little girl had to go to the doctor's office, and so just lots of antioxidants, y'all. Keep fluids running through your body.
Shalima for the whole family.
Thank you. Okay. Now, this is my first foray into actually sitting down and reading any of the minor prophets. I've gone to Daniel, I've gone to Ezekiel, I've gone to Isaiah, of course, Torah over every year. And I can't seem to get enough of Torah, but we're moving out. So this is kind of a first. If you're tuning in and this is not your this is your first time with Ezra, hey, we're together on this one. So let's see. I've got the wiki opened here because they can condense a lot of information in one paragraph. But the Book of Ezra is the book in the Hebrew Bible which formerly included the Book of Nehemiah in a single book, commonly distinguished in scholarship as Ezra Nehemiah. The two became separated in the first printed rabbinic Bibles in the early 16th century, following the medieval late Christian tradition. Composed in Hebrew and Aramaic, its subject is the return to Zion following the close of the Babylonian captivity, and is divided into two parts. The first tells the story of the first return of exiles in the first year of Cyrus the Great. That's in 538 BC. And the completion and dedication of the new temple in Jerusalem in the sixth year of Darius, 515 BC. The second telling of the subsequent mission of Ezra to Jerusalem and his struggle to purify the Jews from marriage with non-Jews. Together with the book of Nehemiah, it represents the final chapter in the historic narrative of the Hebrew Bible. So guess where we're going to go after this. Riley, we're going to jump right over there to Nehemiah.
Okay.
But for now, the Book of Ezra. Now I'm going to be reading. I've got, of course, Chabad open. Chabad.org/library/Bible_CDO/8/16298. Or you can go to the Learning and Values tab and go to the Hebrew Scriptures and look up Ezra. Easy as pie. Let's see. Oh, and I didn't get a join link out here. Of course, we're not really having an open biblical discussion, but if you'd like to join in and help us read, and if you've got some information on Ezra and what's going on, you're welcome to join. I'll put a link here on the side of the YouTube page. You got one on the Facebook page at Orphans of Abraham, and if you're watching on Twitter, just head on over to the YouTube page, and that link will be there for you. You don't have to have a YouTube account or anything to get into it. We'll also keep up one of my favorite translations. It's just because it's very dependable. Here it comes. No, we're not going to do it. Okay. It's mechanmamre.org. Are we going to do it? Here it starts. Okay, we're going to be okay. We're going to make this. We're going to do it. We're going to get through this. Okay. Whew. All right. Let me see if I can find everything before we start off. Okay. that's why. There we go. This is not a prophet, by the way. This is in the writings. So we get, okay. We'll be doing, of course, our Rashi we'll keep Rashi commentary in there the whole time. I'll get mine open and you keep yours open, and we'll just, we're going to get into this because this is historical stuff. This is the real deal. Let me get myself ready because
holy cow.
What's that?
Boy, the first commentary, whoo, that's like 3 paragraphs.
I just saw that. Wow. Here we go.
Okay.
Let me see if I can get through this. Okay, I'll take the first chapter. That's nice and easy.
Okay.
And God be with us on this one here. Eyeballs, they're here. I got my eyeballs.
Yay.
And I'll switch from different translations as we go along. I just like to do that. But right now, we're going to start off with the very contemporarily smoothed over translation of the JPS. It even reads from right to left,
All right.
Yeah, right. I mean, left to right. It reads left to right. It flips left to right. Okay. Ezra chapter 1. In the first year of King Cyrus of Persia, when the word of the Lord spoken by Jeremiah was fulfilled, the Lord roused the spirit of King Cyrus of Persia to issue a proclamation throughout his realm by word of mouth and in writing as follows. Thus said King Cyrus of Persia, the Lord God of heavens has given me all the kingdoms of the earth and has charged me with building him a house in Jerusalem, which is in Judah. Any one of you of all his people, may his God be with him. Let him go up to Jerusalem that is in Judah and build the house of the Lord God of Israel. The God that is in Jerusalem, and all who stay behind wherever he may be living, let the people of his place assist him with silver, gold, goods, and livestock, besides the free will offering to the house of God that is in Jerusalem. So the chiefs of the clans of Judah and Benjamin, and the priests and Levites, all whose spirit had been roused by God, got ready to go up to build the house of the Lord that is in Jerusalem. All of their neighbors supported them with silver vessels, with gold, with goods, with livestock, and precious objects, besides what had been given as a free will offering. King Cyrus of Persia released the vessels of the Lord's house, which Nebuchadnezzar had taken away from Jerusalem, and had put it in the house of his God. These King Cyrus of Persia released through the office of Mithredath, the treasurer, who gave an inventory of them to Sheshbazzar, the prince of Judah. This is the inventory: 30 gold basins, 1,000 silver basins, 29 knives, 30 gold bowls, 410 silver double bowls, 1,000 other vessels. In all, 5,400 gold and silver vessels. Sheshbazzar brought all these back when the exiles came back from Babylon to Jerusalem. Let's see what that commentary is all about.
The first one?
Let's
all right, I'll read it.
Okay.
In the first year of Cyrus, king of Persia, this book is arranged as a continuation of the book of Daniel, as is explained in Behaalotecha 15a. And the word something refers back from this book to that one, for it is stated in Daniel 9:2. In the first year of his reign, I, Daniel, contemplated the calculations of the number of years that the word of the Lord had come to Jeremiah the prophet from the destruction of Jerusalem, 70 years. And so the entire chapter proceeds to relate the story of the destruction of the temple, the time of the Babylonian exile, his confession, in which he confessed Israel's sins. The beginning of this book is as follows. After Belshazzar was assassinated, Darius the Mede reigned, as it says in Daniel 6:1, and Darius the Mede received the kingdom, etc. And after Darius's death, this Cyrus, king of Persia, reigned. And in the first year of his reign, the 70 years for the remembrance of the Babylonian exile, counting from the day that Jehoiakim was exiled, were completed. As it says in Jeremiah 29:10, all the completion of 70 years of Babylon, I will remember you, etc. And Israel returned from the Babylonian exile to the land of Israel in that year. In the first year of Cyrus, Israel laid the foundation of the temple, and the adversaries of Judah and Benjamin slandered them to Cyrus, the king of Persia, and he commanded them to curtail the work, no longer build the edifice of the temple, and the Israelites were idle, for they did not build the temple during the entire reign of Cyrus and Ahasuerus, who succeeded him, until the second year of Darius, the son of Ahasuerus, the king of Persia, who was Darius, the son of Esther. And in the second year of his reign, they began building the temple until the building was completed. And from the first year of Cyrus until the second year of Darius, the son of Ahasuerus, the king of Persia, in whose days the temple was built, were 18 years, to fulfill what was said, Daniel 9:2, from the destruction of Jerusalem, 70 years, etc. And now, in the second year of Darius, 70 years had elapsed since the destruction of Jerusalem, i.e., the destruction of the temple, when Zedekiah was exiled. From the exile of Joachim until the exile of Zedekiah, when the temple was destroyed, were 18 years. And now, in the first year of Cyrus, the king of Persia, 70 years since the exile of Jehoiakim, when Israel was exiled to Babylon, were completed, and thereby the verse that states in Jeremiah 29:10, for the completion of 70 years of Babylon, I will remember you, etc., was fulfilled. And this is the remembrance that Israel returned to their soil and built the foundation of the building of the temple, although it was not yet completed. We find that there were 52 years from the exile of Zedekiah, when the temple was destroyed, until the first year of Cyrus, the king of Persia, and 18 years after the first year of Cyrus, which is the second year of Darius, when Israel commenced to build the edifice, and they completed it. This is proven in Seder Olam, chapter 29, in the tractate Megillah, 11b, and in this book, as I explained. Yeah, there's a mouthful.
Yeah, it was, but very informative.
Yep. So we have two informations on that.
Yeah, what was interesting is, I mean, I think we can say this now because it's so well discussed worldwide, and people are always talking Bible and whatnot. But this is a living generation who would have heard their prophet, who held an office. It was a real thing.
Mhm.
And when his prophecies came true, they knew it. They didn't have to, go back 3,000 years, 2,500 years, and
Right.
there was no wiggle room at that point. When it happened,
Right.
it happened boldly.
Yep. Yes, it did.
I think it's interesting how the king of Persia was monotheist, or it seemed.
Well, you got to remember too, Ahasuerus was Esther's husband. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
And Darius is his son. So
Yes.
hey. So that makes
Okay.
sense.
Okay. Yes, it does.
And Malachi, yay, was their uncle.
Yay.
Yay. And go on chapter 2.
Yeah, I'm just looking through the commentary here, and I'm just seeing what's on here. I guess we can go into chapter 2.
Okay.
Yeah, why not? Let's go.
All right. And these are the people of the province who went up from the captivity of the exile, whom Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, had exiled to Babylon. And they returned to Jerusalem and Judea, each to his own city. Okay. Those who came with Zerubbabel, Jeshua, Nehemiah, Seraiah, Reliah, Mordecai, Bilshan, Mispar, Bigvai, Rehum, Baana, and a number of important men of the people of Israel. The children of Parosh were 2,172. The children of Shephatiah were 372. The children of Ara were 775. The children of Paath Moab, of the children of Jeshua and Joab, were 2,812. The children of Elam were 2,254. The children of Zatu were 945. The children of Zakai were 760. The children of Bani were 642. The children of Babal were 623. The children of Asgad were 1,222. The children of Adonikam were 666. The children of Bigvai were 2,056. The children of Aden were 454. The children of Atir of Hezekiah were 98. The children of Bezai were 323. The children of Jorah were 112. The children of Husham were 223. The children of Gebar were 95. The children of Bethlehem were 123. The people of Nephthath were 56. The people of Anathoth were 128. The children of Asmaveth were 42. The children of Kiriath Amrim, Shephara, and Beroth were 743. The children of Ramah and Geba were 621. The people of Michmas were 122. The people of Bethel and A were 223. The children of Nebo were 52. The children of Magbish were 156. The children of the other Elam were 1,254. The children of Haram were 320. The children of Lod, Hadid, and Ono were 725. The children of Jericho were 345. The children of Sanaa were 3,630. The priests, the children of Jedediah, the house of Jeshua, were 973. The children of Emer were 1,052. The children of Pashur were 1,247. The children of Harim were 1,017. The Levites, the children of Jeshua and Camilel, the children of Hodaviah were 74. The singers, the children of Asaph, were 128. The children of the gatekeepers, the children of Shalom, the children of Etar, the children of Talmon, the children of Akub, the children of Hatita, the children of Shobei, in all 139. The Nethinim, the children of Ziha, the children of Hashupha, the children of Tabaoth, the children of Keros, the children of Saiaha, the children of Padan, the children of Lebanah, the children of Hagabah, the children of Akub, the children of Hagab, the children of Salome, the children of Hanan, the children of Gedel, the children of Gahar, the children of Raiah, the children of Rezin, the children of Nekoda, the children of Gazam, the children of Uzzah, the children of Paseah, the children of Beseh, the children of Aznath, the children of Meunim, the children of Nephusim, the children of Bakbuk, the children of Hakupha, the children of Hahur, the children of Bazluth, the children of Mahida, the children of Harsha, the children of Barkos, the children of Sisera, the children of Tama, the children of Uzziah, the children of Hatifa, the children of Solomon's slaves, the children of Sote, the children of Hasophereth, the children of Peruda, the children of Gala, the children of Darkon, the children of Gidel, the children of Shephatiah, the children of Hatil, the children of Porshereth, Hazabiam, the children of Ami, the children of Nethanim, and the children of Solomon's slaves were 392. And these are the ones who ascended from Tel Melah, Tel Harsha, Cherub, Adon, and Emer. But they could not tell their father's house and their children if they were from Israel. The children of Delaiah, the children of Tobiah, the children of Nekoda were 652. And the children of the priests, the children of Hobaiah, the children of Hekaz, the children of Bazilia, who took a wife of the daughters of Bazilia, and Barzillai, the Gileadite, and was called by their name. Those who traced their genealogy sought their records, but they were not found, and they were disqualified from the priesthood. And Hattershatha said to them that they should not eat of the most holy sacrifices until a priest arises for the Urim and the Thummim. The entire congregation together was 42,360. Besides their slaves and their bondwomen, these 7,337, and they had 200 male and female singers. Their horses were 736, their mules were 245, their camels were 435, donkeys 6,720. And the heads of the fathers' houses, when they came to the house of the Lord, which was in Jerusalem, they donated the house of God to erect it on its foundation. According to their ability, they gave to the treasury of the work gold 61,000 drachmas, and silver 5,000 manas, and 100 priests' tunics. And the priests, the Levites, and of the people, and the singers, and the gatekeepers, and the Nethinim dwelt in their cities, all Israel in their cities. I think that was pretty good for a cold reading.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Well, this is big. You know, they recorded all those from Jacob's children when they first came to Egypt, you know.
Right.
And they took the time to name these people off where they came from. Now, a good chunk of it was from Judah and Benjamin. But then the later it says the priests. From there on out, we're talking Levites, Cohen singers, and the one of the. Hang on a minute. Talking about the singers were the Levites who were singers, and likewise the gatekeepers are Levites who are gatekeepers of the gates of the temple. Important job, welcoming job at that.
Right.
And see if any other commentary. Of course, lose their genealogical records. They wouldn't even know if they're Israelites, let alone.
That's the whole thing right there. That was the whole thing, and it's like, didn't take them long to lose the genealogies, did it? But when you're in exile, you're in exile.
Yeah.
When things got destroyed at the temple, a lot of the genealogies were probably there somewhere, and they were destroyed. So
the Yeah, the bondsmen and the slaves were not included. I want to get to if there's any commentary on Solomon's slaves, because they were named by name, and
Right.
they were included in the counting, which I thought was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
King Solomon had slaves, and these children were of their descendants. So, did he convert them all?
Oh, sure he did.
Wow. They came home. Look at that. All right. Yeah, not a lot to comment on, but
Right.
these are old families. We're all remembered,
Right.
which is a wonderful, beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, shall we go for chapter 3?
All right.
All right.
It's short. You can do it.
When the seventh month arrived, the Israelites began being settled in their towns. The entire people assembled as one man in Jerusalem. Then Joshua, son of Jozadak, and his brother priests, and Zerubbabel, son of Shealtiel, and his brothers set to build the altar of the God of Israel to offer burnt offerings upon it, as it is written in the teaching of Moses. Just a moment here. All right. Smooth reading, huh? As it is written in the teaching of Moses, the man of God. They set up the altar on its site because they were in fear of the peoples of the land, and they offered burnt offerings on it to the Lord, burnt offerings each morning and evening. Then they celebrated the festival of tabernacles, as is written, with its daily burnt offerings in the proper quantities on each day as it is prescribed for it, followed by the regular burnt offering and the offerings for the new moons, and for all the sacred fixed times of the Lord, and whatever freewill offerings were made to the Lord. From the first day of the 7th month, they began to make burnt offerings to the Lord through the foundation of the temple of the Lord had not been though the foundation of the temple of the Lord had not been laid. They paid the hewers and craftsmen with money, and the Sidonians and the Tyrians with food and drink, and oil to bring cedar wood from Lebanon by sea to Joppa, in accord with the authorization granted them by the king of Cyrus of Persia. Excuse me. King Cyrus of Persia. In the 2nd year after their arrival at the house of God at Jerusalem, in the 2nd month, Zerubbabel, son of Shealtiel, and Joshua, son of Jozadak, and the rest of their brother priests and Levites, and all who had come from the captivity to Jerusalem, as their first step, appointed Levites from the age of 20 and upward to supervise the work of the house of the Lord. Jeshua, his sons and brothers, Camdiel and his sons, the sons of Judah, together were appointed in charge of those who did the work in the house of God. Also the sons of Henadad, their sons and brother Levites. When the builders had laid the foundation of the temple of the Lord, priests in their vestments with trumpets, and Levites, sons of Asaph, with cymbals, were stationed to give praise to the Lord, as King David of Israel had ordained. They sang songs extolling and praising the Lord, for he is good, his steadfast love for Israel is eternal. All the people raised a great shout, extolling the Lord, because the foundation of the house of the Lord had been laid. Many of the priests and Levites and chiefs of the clans, the old men who had seen the first house, wept loudly at the sight of the founding of this house. Many others shouted joyously at the top of their voices. The people could not distinguish the shouts of joy from the people's weeping, For the people raised a great shout, the sound of which could be heard from afar.
Cool.
Be right back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the commentary on that last one says, and the people did not recognize, those listeners did not recognize the voice or the shout of joy, because the voice of the people weeping. For the rejoicing people were shouting with a great shout, and the voice of the weeping was heard farther and farther away. Wow. And this temple, the commentary is, when they would see the building of this temple, they would weep because they remembered the large building of the first temple. Those who were around for the first temple.
Is it me, or does it sound like it's in effigy? To some
Kind of, sort of.
degree. They're kind of trying to go back. They're
Where they're more, they might be mourning the old temple, but they're seeing that the new one is rising.
They went through everything. They tried everything they did.
Uh-huh.
And Ezra's records that as was directed by Moses, as was told in Isaiah. It's
Uh-huh.
those listeners didn't. This is a commentary on verse 13, and the people did not recognize the voices of the shouts, voice the shout of joy because of people's weeping. It says, those listeners did not recognize the voice of the shout of joy because of the voice of the people's weeping. For the rejoicing people were shouting with great shout, and the voice of weeping was heard farther and farther away.
Yep.
Oh.
Okay.
So the weeping was louder than okay.
Yes. Number 4. Now the adversaries of Judah and Benjamin heard that the people of the exile were building a temple for the Lord God of Israel. And they approached Zerubbabel and the heads of the fathers' houses and said to them, let us build with you. For like you, we seek your God, and we have been sacrificing to him since the days of Esarhaddon, the king of Assyria, who brought us up here. And Zerubbabel, Jeshua, and the rest of the heads of the fathers' house of Israel said to them, it is not for you and for us to build a house for our God, but we ourselves shall build for the Lord God of Israel, as King Cyrus, the king of Persia, commanded us. And the people of the land were hindering the people of Judea and frightening them from building. And they would hire advisors against them to frustrate their plan all the days of Cyrus, the king of Persia, until the kingdom of Darius, king of Persia. And in the reign of Ahasuerus, the beginning of his reign, they wrote an accusation against the dwellers of Judea and Jerusalem. In the day of Artaxerxes, Mithridath, Tabeel, and the rest of his colleagues wrote with peace to Artaxerxes, the king of Persia, and the script of the epistle was written in Aramaic and explained in Aramaic. Rehum was the secretary, and Shimshai was the scribe. They wrote a letter about Jerusalem to Artaxerxes, the king, as stated. Then Rehum, the secretary, and Shimshai, the scribe, and the rest of their companies, the Dinites, the Parasatites, the Tarpolites, the Aphrasites, the Archavites, the Babylonians, the Shushanishites, the Dehites, and the Elamites, and the rest of the nations whom the great and honored Parar exiled, as settled in the cities of Samaria and the rest of the other side of the river of Kenneth. This is the meaning of the letter that they sent to him, to Artaxerxes the king. Your servants are the people of the other side of the river and Kenaeth. Let it be known to the king that the Jews who ascended from you upon us have come to Jerusalem, the rebellious and sinful city they are building, and the walls they have completed, and the walls they have joined. Now let it be known to the king that if this city is built and the walls are founded, they will not give the king's due, the head tax, or the meal tax they will not give, and the tax of the kings will suffer. Now, in view of this, that we wish to destroy the temple, and it is improper for us to witness the king's disgrace, we have therefore sent and notified the king that one should search in the annals of your fathers, and you will find in the annals that, and you will know that this city is a rebellious city, and it injures kings and countries, and they have made a rebellion in its midst since the days of yore. Because of this city was destroyed. We make known to the king that if this city is built and its walls founded, because of this, you will have no part in the other side of the river. The king sent a word to Rehum, the secretary, and Shimshai, the scribe, and the rest of their companies who lived in Samaria, and the rest of the other side of the river, Shelam and Keith. The letter that you sent to us was explained and read before me, and the order was given by me, and they searched and found that this city had raised itself up over kings, and rebellion and disobedience were committed within it. And the mighty kings were over Jerusalem, who ruled over all beyond the river, and the king's due, the head tax, and the meal tax was given to them. Now issue an order to stop these men and stop this city. Now issue an order to stop these men, and this city shall not be built until orders are given by me. And beware of committing an error in this matter. Why should the damage increase to injure the kings? Then, since the interpretation of the letter of Artaxerxes the king was read before Rehum and Shimshai the scribe and their companies, they went in haste to Jerusalem to the Jews, and they stopped them with force and might. Then the work of the house of God, which was in Jerusalem, was stopped, and it was suspended until the second year of the reign of Darius, the king of Persia. Okay.
This just sounds like, it's like, excuse me, I sound like crap here. This just sounds like when the Jews came home in the 1800s and the early 1900s, and everybody was getting along, and then suddenly everybody was convinced the Jews were going to kill all the Arabs and burn down their mosques and run them out of the land. And they got them all worked up. The Jews were coming home. Oh no, we can't have it. Stop it. My goodness, they were doing this back then.
Right.
Now I see what the Messiah is going to have to, redeem.
Mm-hmm. Nothing new under the sun.
They've been getting flack for losing the first temple forever.
Mm-hmm.
No. Yeah, nothing's new. Neighborhood bullies coming home.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to try 5. I think I'm cleared up for the moment.
Okay.
We shall see. That is 5, right? We're on 5. Yes.
Yes. Oh boy.
All right.
They're bringing in the big guns.
Then the prophets, Haggai the prophet and Zechariah, son of Iddo, prophesied to the Jews in Judah and Jerusalem, inspired by the God of Israel. Thereupon Zerubbabel, son of Shealtiel, and Jeshun, son of Jozadak, began rebuilding the house of God in Jerusalem with the full support of the prophets of God. At once, Tatane, governor of the province of beyond the river, Shetar, Bozani, Their colleagues descended upon them and said to them, "Who issues orders to you to rebuild this house and complete its furnishing?" Then we said to them, "What are the names of the men who are engaged in the building?" But God watched over the elders of the Jews, and they were not stopped while the report went to Darius, and a letter was sent back in reply to it. This is the text of the letter to Tatenai, governor of the province of beyond the river. I believe that's Babylon, mostly. When they say beyond the river, isn't it?
I think so.
I'm pretty sure, yeah. Sent to King Darius. They sent a message to him, and it was written on it, "To King Darius, greetings," and so forth. "Be it known to the king that we went to the province of Judah, to the house of the great God. It is being rebuilt of hewn stone, and wood is being laid in the walls. The work is being done with dispatch and is going well. Thereupon we directed this question to these elders: Who issued orders to you to rebuild the house and complete its furnishings? We also asked their names so that we could write down their names of their leaders for your information. This is what they answered us: We are the servants of God of heaven and earth. We are rebuilding the house that was originally built many years ago. A great king of Israel built it and completed it. But because our fathers angered the God of heaven, he handed them over to Nebuchadnezzar, the Chaldean, king of Babylon, who demolished this house and exiled the people to Babylon. But in the first year of King Cyrus of Babylon, King Cyrus issued an order to rebuild his house of God. Also, the silver and gold vessels of the house of God that Nebuchadnezzar had taken away from the temple in Jerusalem had brought to the temple in Babylon. King Cyrus released them from the temple in Babylon to be given to the one called Sheshbazzar, who he had appointed governor. He said to him, "Take these vessels, go, deposit them in the temple in Jerusalem, and let the house of God be rebuilt on its original site." That time, Sheshbazzar then came and laid the foundations for the house of God in Jerusalem, and ever since then it has been under construction, but it is not yet finished. And now, if it praise the king, let the royal archives there in Babylon be searched to see whether indeed an order had been issued by King Cyrus to rebuild this house of God in Jerusalem. May the king convey to us his pleasure in this matter.
Tit for tat.
Yeah. Do you see any commentary of interest?
That's what I'm trying to look at now.
I didn't know the prophets were behind rebuilding the temple.
Like I said, they called out the big guns.
Yeah.
You don't mess around with Haggai and Zechariah. Okay. Alrighty, let's moving right along. That was pretty clear cut.
Yeah.
Chapter 6. Then King Darius gave an order, and they searched in the library which the archives were stored in Babylon. And there was found in a pouch in the citadel of the province of Media one scroll, and so was written therein in a memorandum. In the first year of King Cyrus gave an order regarding the house of God in Jerusalem, that the house should be built, and a place where they offer up sacrifices, and its walls should be founded, its height 60 cubits, and its width 60 cubits. 3 rows of marble and a row of new wood, and the expenditures shall be given from the royal house. And also the vessels of the house of God, of gold and silver, which Nebuchadnezzar took out of the temple that is in Jerusalem and brought to Babylon. Let them be given over and brought to the temple that is in Jerusalem to its place, and they shall be deposited in the house of God. Now Tattenai, the governor of the other side of the river, Shethar-Bozniah, and their companies, the Aphrasikites, who are on the other side of the river, distance yourselves from there. Leave the work of this house of God to the governors of the Jews and to the elders of the Jews. I command this house of God, they shall build in its place. And from me shall be issued an order regarding that you shall do with these elders of the Jews to build this house of God. And from the king's property, from the taxes of the other side of the river, it shall be quickly be built. The expenses shall be given to these men so that they should not be disrupted. And what they require, and young bulls and rams and lambs for burnt offerings to the God of the heavens, wheat, salt, wine, and oil, according to the statement of the priests who are in Jerusalem, let it be given to them daily without delay, that they should offer up pleasing sacrifices to the God of heaven and pray for the lives of the king and his children. And an order is issued by me that whatever person disobeys this order, a beam shall be torn from his house, and a gallows shall be made, and upon which to place him, and his house shall be made a dung heap because of this. And God, who caused his name to rest there, will cast down any king or people that lays a hand to alter and destroy this house of God, which is in Jerusalem. I, Darius, have issued an edict. It shall be swiftly executed. Then Tattenai, the governor of the land beyond the river, Shethar-Bozniah, and their companies, in view of what King Darius had sent, as was said, acted swiftly. And the elders of the Jews were building and succeeding with the prophecy of Haggai, the prophet, and Zechariah, son of Iddo. And they built and founded it by the command of God of Israel, and by the command of Cyrus, Darius, and Artaxerxes, the king of Persia. And the completion of this house was on the 3rd day of the month of Adar, which was in the 6th year of the reign of King Darius. And the children of Israel, the priests, the Levites, and the rest of the members of the exile performed the dedication of this house of God with joy. And they offered up for the dedication of the house of God 100 bulls, 200 rams, 400 lambs, and 12 he-goats for sin offerings for all of Israel, according to the number of the tribes of Israel. Now they set up the priests in their divisions and the Levites in their classes over the service of God, which was in Jerusalem, as written in the book of Moses. Now the people of exile made the Passover offering on the 14th of the 1st month. For the priests and the Levites purified themselves as one, so they were all pure. And they slaughtered the Passover offering for all the people of exile, and for their brethren, the priests, and for themselves. And the children of Israel, who had returned from exile, and whoever separated from the defilement of the nations of the land, to seek the Lord God of Israel, partook of it. And they celebrated the feast of unleavened bread 7 days with joy, for the Lord made them joyful and turned the heart of the king of Assyria toward them to strengthen their hands in the work of the house of God, the God of Israel. Yay.
The influence one woman can make. I just keep going back to Esther.
Yep. Okay, here's something. Artaxerxes, he is Darius, but he was called Artaxerxes because of the province and the kingdom. For all kings of Persia were thus named, just as all the kings of Egypt were called Pharaoh. Good to know.
Huh. Very good to know.
Well, it's like Jethro had 4 different names. You know what the heck?
Yeah. Sinai's got a couple names too. There's something hewn stone. I wonder if that means that I mean, there was a worm, there was an animal that they used that was able to cut the
Right.
stone in the wilderness.
For the
I wonder
first
if,
one,
yeah, I guess they say hewn
because
stone, but
nothing metal was supposed to touch the stones, and you weren't supposed to hear it being cut down upon. There's a difference.
hewn. I'm just gonna look up that word just for giggles here. Hang on. Chop or cut something, especially wood or coal, with an axe, pick, or other tool. Make shape something by cutting, chopping materials such as wood or stone. Okay. I thought that was interesting. I hear I hear the word hewn, and I'm thinking, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
We have great hopes here. Okay, we're in a time of great hope. We know what's going to happen. We spoilers. Okay, we're we've seen the 5 sequels after this, but we know what's coming. Maybe I'm being a little too nitpicky on this. I don't mean to be so. Let me see.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, ain't nobody going to stand in this king's way. I will mess you up, he says. Are we on 6?
That
7.
was 6. We're going to 7.
Okay. All right. Pages can turn. They're not stuck together. Here we go. Chapter 7. After these events, during the reign of King Atraxerxes, how do you say that again? How did you say? Yeah, Atraxerxes.
Atarxerxes.
Atarxerxes. That sounds Greek. King Artaxerxes of Persia, Ezra, son of Shariah, son of Azariah, son of Hilkiah, son of Shallum, son of Zadok, son of Ahitub, son of Amariah, son of Azariah, son of Mirioth, son of Zerachiah, son of Uzi, son of Buki, son of Abishua, son of Phinehas, son of
Phineas.
Eleazar. Huh?
Phineas.
Phineas. I like Phineas.
Son of Eleazar.
Phineas.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Son of Eleazar, son of Aaron, the chief priest. That
Yay.
Ezra came up from Babylon, a scribe expert in the teaching of Moses, which the Lord God of Israel had given, whose request the king had granted in its entirety, thanks to the benevolence of the Lord toward him. Some of the Israelites, the priests and Levites, the singers, the gatekeepers, and the temple servants set out for Jerusalem in the 7th year of King
Artaxerxes.
Arriving in Jerusalem in the 5th month in the 7th year of the king. On the 1st day of the 1st month, the journey up from Babylon was started, and on the 1st day of the 5th month he arrived in Jerusalem, thanks to the benevolent care of his God for him. For Ezra had dedicated himself to study the teaching of the Lord, so as to observe it, and to teach laws and rules to Israel. The following is the text of the letter which King
Xerxes.
gave Ezra the priest scribe. Oh boy, here we go. Ezra the priest scribe, a scholar in matters concerning the commandments of the Lord and his laws to Israel. Artaxerxes, king of kings, to Ezra the priest, scholar in the law of the God of heaven, and so forth. Excuse me, need a cough button.
Uh-huh.
And now, I hereby issue an order that anyone in my kingdom who is of the people of Israel and its priests and Levites who feels impelled to go to Jerusalem may go with you. For you are commissioned by the king and his 7 advisors to regulate Judah and Jerusalem according to the law of your God, which is in your care, and to bring the freewill offering of silver and gold, which the king and his advisors made to the God of Israel, whose dwelling is in Jerusalem, and wherever silver and gold that you find throughout the province of Babylon, together with the freewill offerings that the people and the priests will give for the house of their God, which is in Jerusalem. You shall, therefore, with dispatch acquire with this money bulls, rams, and lambs, with their meal offerings and libations, and offer them on the altar of the house of your God in Jerusalem. And whatever you wish to do with the leftover silver and gold, you and your kinsmen may do in accord with the will of your God. The vessels for the service of the house of your God that are given to you, delivered to God in Jerusalem, and any other needs of the house of your God that it falls to you to supply, do so from the royal treasury. I, King Artaxerxes, for my part, hereby issue an order to all the treasurers in the province of beyond the river, that whatever request Ezra the priest, scholar in the law of the God of heaven, makes of you is to be fulfilled with dispatch, up to the sum of 100 talents of silver, 100 kor of wheat, 100 bath of oil, and salt without limit. Whatever is by order of the God of heaven must be carried out diligently for the house of the God of heaven, else wrath will come upon the king and his sons. We further advise you that it is not permissible to impose tribute, poll tax, or land tax on any priest, Levite, singer, gatekeeper, temple servant, or other servant of his house of God. And you, Ezra, by the divine wisdom you possess, appoint magistrates and judges to judge all the people in the province of beyond the river who know the laws of your God, and to teach those who do not know them. Let anyone who does not obey the law of your God and the law of the king be punished with dispatch, whether by death, corporal punishment, confiscation of possessions, or imprisonment. Blessed is the Lord of God of our fathers, who put into the mind of the king to glorify the house of the Lord in Jerusalem, and who inclined the king and his counselors and the king's military officers to be favorably disposed toward me. For my part, thanks to the care of the Lord for me, I summed up courage and assembled leading men in Israel to go with me.
Woohoo. We're coming to the top of the hour. Did you want to finish this out or no? Or do you want to say the last 2 chapters?
Isn't it?
Huh?
Yeah, let's go ahead and finish it.
All right.
And then we'll start Nehemiah next week, God willing.
Okay. Chapter 8. And these are the heads of their fathers' houses and the lineage of those who ascended with me in the kingdom of King Artaxerxes from Babylon. Of the sons of Phinehas, Gershom. The sons of Ithamar, Daniel. The sons of David, Hattush. Of the sons of Shechaniah, the sons of Parosh, Zechariah, and with him 150 males traced their lineage. Of the sons of Pahath Moab, Elihonai, the son of Zerahiah, and with him 200 males. Of the sons of Shechaniah, the son of Jahaziel, and with him 300 males. And the sons of Aden, Ebed, the son of Jonathan, and with him 50 males. The sons of Elam, Jeshiah, the son of Athaliah, and with him 70 males. Of the sons of Shephatath, Zebediah, the son of Michael, with him 80 males. the son of Joab, Obadiah the son of Jehiel, with him 218 males, and the sons of Shelomith, the son of Josephiah, and with him 160 males, and the sons of Bebe, Zechariah the son of Bebe, and with him 28 males, and the sons of Asgad, Johanan the son of Yakatan, and with him 110 males, and of the sons of Adonikim, the last ones, and these are their names: Eliphelet, Jael, Shemaiah, and with them were 60 males. And the sons of Bigvai, Uthte and Zakur, and with them were 70 males. And I gathered them to the flowing river, to Ahava, and we encamped there for 3 days. And I surveyed the people and the priests, and the sons of Levi I did not find there. I sent Eleazar, Ariel, Shemaiah, Elnathan, Jarib, Elnathan, Nathan, Zechariah, and Shulamam, the heads of Jorib, and Elnathan, the wise men. And I commanded them to go to Edu, the head of the place of Casaphiah, and put the words in their mouth to speak to Edu and Ahi, who were settled in the place of Casaphiah, to bring us servants for the house of our God. And they brought us according to the hand of our God, which was good over us, a man of intellect, of the sons of Mahil, the sons of Levi, the sons of Israel, the son of Jerebiah, and his sons and his brothers, 18. And Hashabiah, with him Jeshaiah, the sons of Merari, and his brothers and their sons, 20. The Nethanites, whom King David had appointed, and the chiefs for the service of the Levites, Nethanites, were 220, all of them specified by name. And I proclaimed there a fast by the river Ahava, to fast before our God, to beseech him for a straight way for us and our children and for all our belongings. For I was ashamed to request of the king an army and horsemen to aid us from enemies on the way. For we had said to the king, the hand of our God is upon all who seek him for good, and his power and his wrath are upon all who forsake him. And we fasted and beseeched our God concerning this, and he accepted our prayer. And I separated 12 of the chiefs of the priests, Sherebiah, Hashabiah, and with them 10 of their brothers. And I weighed out for them the silver and the gold and the vessels, the offering of the house of our God, which the king, his advisors, his chiefs, and all of Israel who were present had offered. And I weighed out upon their hands 650 talents of silver, and 100 silver vessels by talent, and 100 talents of gold, and 20 sprinkling bowls of gold of 1,000 daryaks, and 2 vessels of fine gold and copper, precious as gold. And I said to them, you are holy to the Lord, and the vessels are holy, and the silver and the gold are a donation to the Lord God of your forefathers. Hasten and guard them until you weigh them out before the chiefs of the priests and the Levites, and the chiefs of the fathers' houses of Israel and Jerusalem, to deposit in the chambers of the house of the Lord. And the priests and the Levites received by weight the silver, the gold, and the vessels to bring to Jerusalem for the house of our God. And we traveled from the river Ahava on the 20th of the first month to go to Jerusalem. And the hand of our God was upon us, and he saved us from the clutches of the enemy and those who lie in wait on the way. And we came to Jerusalem and stayed there 3 days. And on the 4th day, the silver, the gold, the vessels were weighed in the house of our God unto the hand of Memeroth, the son of Uriah the priest, and with him Eleazar the son of Phinehas, and with them Josabad the son of Jeshua, and Noadiah the son of Beniu, the Levites. Everything was counted and weighed, and the entire weight was written at that time. Those coming from captivity, the people of exile, offered up burnt offerings to the God of Israel, 12 bulls for all of Israel, 96 rams, 77 lambs, and 12 he-goats for sin offerings. All of this was a burnt offering for the Lord. And they gave the king's decrees to the satraps of the king and the governors of the land beyond the river. And they exalted the people in the house of God. And then we have chapter 9, which is the last chapter. Did you want me to continue reading?
Well, either that or we can save it for next week.
I can continue reading. Chapter 9. And these were completed. The chiefs approached me, saying, the people of Israel, the priests and the Levites, were not separated from the peoples of the lands, like the abominations of the Canaanites, Hittites, and Perizzites, the Jebusites, the Ammonites, and the Moabites, the Egyptians, and the Amorites. For they have taken of our daughters for themselves and for their sons, and the holy seed has become mingled with the peoples of the lands. And the hand of the chiefs and the deputies was the first of in this treachery. And when I heard of this matter, I rent my garment and my robe, and I tore the hair of my head and my beard, and I sat bewildered. And all those who hastened at the word of the God of Israel gathered to me on account of the treachery of the community of the exiles. And I sat bewildered until the evening offering. And at the time of the evening offering, I arose from my fast with the rent condition of my garment and my robe, and I kneeled on my knees and spread my palms to the Lord my God. And I said, oh my God, I am ashamed and embarrassed to lift up my face to you, my God, for our iniquities have increased over our heads, and our guilt has grown up to the heavens. Since the days of our forefathers, we are in great guilt until this day. And because of our iniquities, we were delivered, we, our kings, our priests, into the hands of the kings of the land by the sword, in captivity, with the plunder and with shamefacedness as of this day. And now, for a short moment, favor has been granted by the Lord our God to leave us a remnant and to give us a peg in his holy place, so that our God may enlighten our eyes and grant us a little life in our servitude. For we are slaves, and in our servitude God has not forsaken us. And he has extended loving kindness upon us before the kings of Persia, to give us life, to exalt the house of our God and to erect its ruins, and to give us a fence in Judea and in Jerusalem. And now, what shall we say, O God, after this? For we have forsaken your commandments, which you have commanded by your servants the prophets, saying, the land that you are coming to inherit is an unclean land because of it, the uncleanliness of the peoples of the land, by their abominations which they filled it from end to end with their uncleanliness. And now you shall not give your daughters to their sons, neither shall you take their daughters for your sons. And you shall not seek their peace nor their prosperity to eternity, in order that you may become strong and eat the goodness of the land. And you shall cause your children to inherit it to eternity. And after all has come upon us because of our evil deeds, because of our great guilt, because you, our God, have punished us less than our iniquities deserve, and you have given us a remnant such as this. If we revert to breaking your commandments, to intermarrying with these abominable peoples, will you not be wroth with us until destruction without the remnant or escape? Lord God of Israel, you are righteous, for we are left a remnant as of this day. Behold, we are before you in our guilt, for we cannot stand before you because of this. Oh God, it's got 10 chapters. How many are there?
Just a 10.
Okay, this is the last chapter.
I'm going to give it a shot.
Okay.
Go out.
You're going to try it?
Huh?
All right. You're going to try it, okay?
I am going to make an attempt. Yes, I am. Best I can.
Alrighty.
God willing. While Ezra was praying and making confession, weeping and prostrating himself before the house of God, a very great crowd of Israelites gathered about him, men, women, and children. The people were weeping bitterly. Then Shechaniah, son of Jehiel, of the family of Elam, spoke up and said to Ezra, we have trespassed against our God by bringing into our homes foreign women from the peoples of the land. But there is still hope for Israel despite this. Now then, let us make a covenant with our God to expel all these women and those who have not been born to them in accordance with the bidding of the Lord and of all who are concerned over the commandment of our God, and let the teaching be obeyed. Take action, for the responsibility is yours, and we are with you. Act with resolve. So Ezra at once put the officers of the priests and the Levites and all Israel under oath to act accordingly, and they took the oath. Then Ezra rose from his place in front of the house of God and went into the chamber of Jehonahan, son of Eliashib. There he ate no bread and drank no water, for he was in mourning over the trespass of those who had returned from exile. Then a proclamation was issued in Judah and Jerusalem that all who had returned from exile should assemble in Jerusalem, and that anyone who did not come in 3 days would, by decision of the officers and elders, have his property confiscated and himself excluded from the congregation of returning exiles. All the men of Judah and Benjamin assembled in Jerusalem in 3 days. It was the 9th month, in the 12th of the month. All the people
20th.
sat in the. Say it again.
20th.
Oh, it was the 9th month, the 20th of the month. I don't even know what I said. All the people sat in the square of the house of God, trembling on account of the event and because of the rains. Then Ezra the priest got up and said to them, "You have trespassed by bringing home foreign women, thus aggravating the guilt of Israel. So now make confession to the Lord, God of your fathers, and do his will, and separate yourselves from the peoples of the land and from the foreign women." The entire congregation responded in a loud voice, "We must surely do as you say." However, many people are involved, and it is the rainy season. It is not possible to remain out in the open, nor is this the work of a day or two, because we have transgressed extensively in this matter. Let our officers remain on behalf of the entire congregation, and all our townspeople who have brought home foreign women shall appear before them at scheduled times, together with the elders and judges of each town, in order to avert the burning anger of our God from us on this account. Only Jonathan, son of Asael, and Jezael, son of Tikvah, remained for this purpose, assisted by Meshullam and Shabbathai, the Levites. The returning exiles did so. Ezra the priest and the men who were the chiefs of the ancestral clans, all listed by name, sequestered themselves on the first day of the month to study the matter. By the first day of the first month, they were done with all the men who had brought home foreign women. Among the priestly families who were found to have brought foreign women were Jeshua, son of Jozadak, and his brothers, Maaseiah, Eleazar, Jarib, and Gedaliah. They gave their word to expel their wives, and, acknowledging their guilt, offered a ram from the flock to expiate it. Of the sons of Immer, Hanani and Zebediah. The sons of Harim, Maaseiah, Elijah, Shemaiah, Jehiel, and Jozabad, and Elisah. See, I was saying how you got all the namey chapters throughout this reading, and you would have had the namey chapter had I not been coughing my head off. So there we go. Notice that. Of the Levites, Jozabad, Shimei, and Kaleah, who is Keleta, Pethiah,
Aya.
Judah, and Eleazar. Of the singers, Eliashib. Of the gatekeepers, Shalom, Telem, and Uri. Of the Israelites, sons of Parosh, Ramai, Isaiah, Melchijah, Mijamin, there we go. Eliezer, Malchijah, and Banina. Oh man, they're all names. All these had married foreign women, among them who were some women who had born children. I can't read through that. If you want to read the names, go right ahead.
Okay. And verse 26. And the sons of Elam, Mattaniah, Zechariah, Jehiel, Abdi, Jeremoth, and Elijah. The sons of Zetu, Elionaiah, Eliashib, Mattaniah, Jeremoth, Zabad, Aziza. The sons of Babai, Johanan, Hananiah, Zabay, and Athlai. The sons of Benai, Meshulam, Maluk, Adaiah, Jeshub, Sheel, and Ramoth. The sons of Path Moab, Adnah, and Kalal. Benaniah, Masadiah, Mattaniah, Bezaleel, Benui, and Manasseh. The sons of Harim, Eleazar, Ishabjab, Melchijah, Shemaiah, and Simeon. Benjamin, Baruch, and Sheremiah. Of the sons of Hashrum, Mattanai, Mattatath, Zabad, Eliphalet, Jeremiah, Manasseh, and Shimi. The sons of Benai, Maadai, Amram, and Uel. Benaniah, Bedaiah, Shaluhu. Benaiah, Meremoth, Eliashib, Mattaniah, Mattani, and Jesai. Excuse me. Benai, Benui, Shimi. Shalamiah, Nathan, Adoniah. Macnadebi, Sheshay, Sariah. Azarel, Shalamiah, Shemariah. Shalom, Amariah, and Joseph. Of the sons of Nebo, Jalel, Mattathian, Zabad, Zabina, Jadeh, Joel, and Benaiah. All these had taken foreign wives, and some of them had wives by whom they had children. And that ends the book of Ezra. And the last commentary said, and some of them had heathen wives by whom they had children. They cast all of them out, both the wives and the children.
This is like I just hear Genesis 6. And the sons of God took among them daughters of women that pleased them, or were pleasing to their parents. I mean, it's amazing that the Jewish people are even here.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that one tribe from the Levites who just completely lost their genealogy in 2 generations, 3 generations, maybe.
Yep.
How are there still Jews? How are y'all doing this? I know.
Levite, yeah, how are the Levites? Yeah. And it was 70 years. It was just 70 years in exile. So actually it's 1.5. Yeah, 1.5 to 1 3/4 generation. If you go 40 years as a generation, yeah.
And I mean, it's just natural. It's not right, but it's natural. Your entire world everything that, is gone. I mean, the temple, God scattered you from the land he promised you,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's rough, but unacceptable. Okay, before I go spaz on another coughing fit, we'll end this tonight.
All right.
Rosalie, thank you so much.
No worries.
You rock. We're doing this every Thursday. Even if I'm sick, we'll do it. No, next Thursday we'll get into Nehemiah, which is the continuation of what we read tonight. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, jamestheidolsmasher@gmail.com. And we will be back again here on YouTube, on Twitter, and on the Orphans of Abraham group on Facebook. Rosalie, any final words?
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Refuah Shalema, James, for you and your family. Anybody else who's suffering from illness.
Illness is fun. No, I'm kidding. Well, I'm gonna join you in that. Shabbat Shalom, and we'll see you next week. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.